everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel, and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm working on a penthouse. As you can probably already tell, in the world of San Myshuno, we have one penthouse lot in the game, I think it's just one. And that's what we're building today, and I'm actually building for the Not So Berry challenge for the Rose gen, which is the second generation, and the color is red. So this house is going to be very much Rose gen inspired. I'm going to be using a lot of red. And one thing I do for my Not So Berry challenge houses is only the second one, but what I find I enjoy doing the most is I don't really like make the entire house just like one solid color, but I really like to just like take that one color for the generation and really like use that like as much as I can, but also I want to just combine it with other colors or like other neutrals that kind of like enhance the color and just make it look good. I don't know. I know some people, whenever they do like builds for the Not So Berry challenge, they really only use things that are tagged as that color in the catalog. So say you were to build a red house, you're only going to be using items that are tagged as red in the catalog. That is too difficult for me. Like that is a bridge too far. I have a lot of respect for people that actually do that and are able to make houses look good that way. But for me personally, I just enjoy it more when I still like have a little bit of freedom in using different colors or at least like neutrals to combine it with, and especially when it comes to the color red, because red is definitely not my favorite color in the world. I know there is a lot of different like versions of the color, if that makes sense. Like there's different tones of the color red, and that goes obviously for every color, but still like it's not a color that really agrees with me, or maybe the other way around. I don't know. I find red a difficult color to work with. Let's just put it that way. And so this definitely was a challenge for me. And I am so happy that we have a lot of red bricks in the game, and that really came in handy for this one because this is a penthouse and it's going to be very industrial inspired. And I'm going to be using a lot of red brick. So that was my like little creative way around using like a bright red wallpaper for the exterior or for the interior for that matter. It was like a little sneaky way around that to like just incorporate a lot of red brick for this build, and that is something that I did, and I feel like it worked out really well. I am really happy with how this penthouse came together. It's pretty spacious, it's definitely luxurious and big, but it's not too big. I was really keeping an eye on the gameplay aspect of it all because I am actually also playing the Not So Berry challenge. This isn't just a build for the Not So Berry challenge. I actually also play the challenge over on Twitch, so shameless plug if you're interested in that. I do play it over on Twitch, and I do upload all the VODs to my second YouTube channel as well, which is always linked in the description box. So if you're curious about the actual gameplay aspect of it all, then you can go ahead and check it out. I actually played for one episode in this house already, and it definitely works. I had to make a couple of like minor adjustments, mostly to the main bedroom, because that one actually turned out to be a little bit cramped because we have like a lofted situation here, so the second floor isn't actually all that spacious. I really wanted to create like a loft because it is an industrial penthouse, and if there's one thing I love for that style, it's trying to create like lofted spaces. So that's what I did for this penthouse, and it actually worked out really well, but the second floor is actually not that spacious because of the whole loft situation, but you'll see that once we actually move into the interior. For now, I'm still working on the exterior, and the shape of it turned out really cool. I wasn't really working off of any reference photos. I did go on Pinterest to just like look for some general inspiration for modern industrial penthouses, but I didn't actually look at one specific picture to kind of copy the shape or anything. I just kind of started building, and that's just, I find for like these types of like modern builds, that's just the way that works best for me, is if I just start creating, I just start putting down boxes and adding platforms to rooftops and like things like that. And then at some point, I'll have an interesting shape that I am happy with, and then I'll stick with that, and then I'll run with it. And that is what I did for this one too. And I'm actually really excited about the sunroom in the back. You can see that I created a room that is completely made out of glass. Like for the most part. I mean, obviously I place down walls, but I use windows all around, and I use those glass tiles from the Island Living pack for the roof. So that is a really cool like little sunroom situation. We have a lot of outdoor space here because the penthouse lot is actually pretty big, and I didn't want to make the house huge. So we definitely have a little bit of space on either side of the penthouse. And as you can probably tell, I also really try to keep an eye on the apartments on the lower levels. You can kind of see that I used, like, you can see a lot of red brick on the lower levels, and I kind of used that as an outline for where my exterior walls needed to go, if that makes sense. Obviously, at the end of the speed build, we'll do a little tour in game, and I'll show you what I mean by that, but you can probably tell. And then, yeah, I use a lot of platforms to play around with, like leveling a little bit for the exterior as well, because it was looking a little bit flat. And I created a green roof as well. I have been enjoying industrial builds for a while now. I think this is the one that got me started on that, but I actually have another industrial build coming at some point after this one as well. I don't know, I'm just, I'm very much enjoying them at the moment because of this penthouse. I don't know, I haven't really done a lot of penthouses. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I've only ever done one build on this penthouse lot, and it was a cafe. So it was a community lot, which I actually also really like. I built that one quite a while ago, but I still use it a lot for gameplay. It's a pretty useful cafe and a cool spot, but I've never actually done a residential on this lot specifically. So yeah, that was something new for me, and I really like how this one came together. And like I said, it is pretty luxurious. We have on one side of the house, which is what I would call the front, I guess, is where we have the pool, and we have a hot tub and stuff like that. And then on the other side, I end up having a nice seating area. There is the sunroom there. There is a little workout space. I placed a basketball hoop, which might not be the most realistic thing because obviously the ball is going to fall off the building at some point. So that's going to be a little problematic. But in The Sims, that doesn't actually happen. So I didn't really have to keep that into consideration, or keep that in mind, I should say. So that was really nice. And then here I created some skylights too, because I thought that would be the most perfect thing for like an industrial modern penthouse like this. I wanted to try and create some skylines by like creating these little roof pieces that I then turned into glass roof pieces, and then I just deleted the ceiling for that little area. And we have a little skylight. I actually ended up doing two at some point. I think off camera I added another one. So that is really cool and looks good for the lighting situation on the inside as well. And this penthouse in total ends up having 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, though I will say I turned 1 bedroom into an indoor gym because the sim that I'm using for the red, like not so very gen, like the rose gen, the air, she is very much into working out. So I gave her a gym, and then her mom has a bedroom as well, because for this challenge I like to keep the family together. So rather than having my heir move out at some point, the mom or the previous heir is just gonna move with them to the next house. That's what I like to do. I think most people like to do that for this challenge. So you actually have your Sims with you in the household until they die, which I think is a lot of fun, because that way you can collect the gravestones or the urns, which sounds like not fun, but for Sims gameplay purposes, that is fun, okay? I'm sure that you know what I mean. And little spoiler alert, the mom, the previous heir, the mint gen, she actually died in this house already. Like I said, I played for 1 episode in this house. Because, okay, let me tell you a little something about my Not So Berry Rose Gen. The heir, her name is Ruby. She also has a twin brother, but he didn't make it as the heir. We have Ruby, the sister, as the heir. The Rose Gen is going to have the serial romantic aspiration. They're a very romantic sim. By the way, if you're not familiar with the Not So Berry challenge, I know that most people are, but basically it's just a legacy challenge that is inspired by a color. So the first generation is the Mint Gen, and you're kind of going to have to create a sim that is inspired by the color mint, and you can go as crazy with it as you want. And the house is also going to be mint inspired, and also their traits are going to be mint inspired, as in the color for the little icon is going to be green or like mint colored. So for the Rose Gen, which is the color red, the Sim's aspiration and traits are all going to be inspired by the color red. So she is a serial romantic. Her traits, I'm not exactly sure what the 3 traits are. I think they are romantic, and then 2 other things that I am completely spacing on right now. But they're all going to be red, and she is going to have to do the politics career. So our Ruby, she's a serial romantic, and she actually went to college to study because that's not mandatory in the Not So Berry challenge at all. But I always really enjoy university gameplay, and I hadn't done it in a while, so I was looking for a way to kind of make that blend into my legacy or like Not So Berry gameplay. So I decided, since Ruby is going to be a politician, I felt like going to college would actually make sense for that. So we had her go to college for a little while. She actually graduated with straight A's across the board. She did amazing. So apart from being a serial romantic and definitely being like a heartbreaker and, you know, stuff like that, she is also very serious about her career, and she was always very serious about her schoolwork as well. So she was actually able to go to college, and she graduated with just straight A's. She did amazing, and now she has a really good job. And we moved into this penthouse with Mom, the Mint heir. Her name is Minty. And Mom actually survived for only like 1 night. I gave her a whole mint bedroom. So this red penthouse that is going to be very red on the inside as well. I created 1 bedroom that is like mint inspired for Mom. And yeah, so she slept in that room for 1 night total, and then she died, which was really, really sad. But yeah, at some point, we're obviously also going to have a kid, but Ruby, the heir for the Rose Gen, is actually only going to have 1 kid total. That says, like, that's in the rules that way. So because she's a serial romantic, she doesn't want to get married. Like, she doesn't want to get attached to anyone. So in the rules, it says that at some point we're going to have to leave someone at the altar. So that's what's going to happen at some point. Also, it says that we're only allowed to have 1 kid, where we definitely do not have any parental instincts whatsoever. It literally says that in the rules for the Rose Gen, which I think is so funny. But we do end up having 1 kid. So I'm in my brain kind of trying to think of storylines that we can do. It's probably going to be an accidental baby, because Ruby isn't really planning on having any kids. She just wants to focus on her career and becoming a very successful politician, which is definitely going to happen. But because she is a serial romantic, she has a lot of affairs. At this point in time, she also has an actual girlfriend. They already started dating in high school. It's not going to last much longer, because for the serial romantic aspiration, you're also going to have 8 boyfriends, girlfriends, partners in total. And so far, we've only had 1 official partner. So we have 1 official girlfriend right now, but we're going to have to break up with them because we have to make it to 8 at some point. And we're also going to have to leave someone at the altar at some point. We're going to have an accidental baby with someone at some point. And that's what Minty's bedroom, she's gone already, and her room is going to be the baby room at some point, which is actually pretty convenient, because that means that I don't even have to turn my gym into a nursery, which is super convenient because Ruby loves to work out. That is not a rule for the Rose Gen, but it's just something that happened for my gameplay, for the personality of the sim that we are using as the heir. She is active. She likes to work out. She likes to be just physically active, you know, so she has a gym upstairs, and we're not actually going to have to renovate that, which is nice. We can keep that. And we can turn dead mom's room into the nursery, which, sorry mom, but it's more convenient that way. But yeah, at this point we do not have a baby yet, but it's definitely going to happen. So there is that, and then yeah, that's a little bit about Ruby and the sim that basically lives in this house. And she is only going to be living here by herself and then with her kid at some point. And then obviously, maybe for a little while, she is going to have her partner live here because, like I said, we are at some point going to have to get engaged and leave someone at the altar. And getting engaged probably means that that person also is going to live with us in the house for a while there, but like after we leave them at the altar, they're probably going to move out. That only makes sense. So for the most part, it's just going to be Ruby and her kid down the line. I mean, I don't know, we might get like a roommate at some point, but we don't really need it. Oh, something that's very important that I haven't even told you about yet is that we actually won the lottery in the first gen. Minty, our mint heir, she won the lottery, over 1 million simoleons. So we are rich, which if you're asking, like if you're wondering why we're building this huge penthouse that is obviously very expensive and I'm not minding the budget at all, it's because I don't have to. We are loaded. We have so much money. It's actually crazy. My sim legit won the lottery. That is not something I cheated or anything for the storyline. It is something that actually happened. She won the lottery. I think it was in like the 3rd episode of me playing the Not So Berry challenge. It was ridiculous. I kind of forgot that we had purchased a lottery ticket at all. And we won the lottery. So we are very rich at the moment. And obviously Minty left Ruby all that money. She also gave a portion of the money to her son because Ruby does have a twin brother, and he's not a big part of the storyline, but he exists and we have a good relationship with him. He is living with his boyfriend, now fiance, because story progression is a thing now, which is good. So they are engaged and they live in the city in an apartment as well. So they're going to be part of the storyline too, which is a lot of fun to like have family live nearby and stuff like that. So yeah, that's actually pretty cute. He has a lot of money too, but yeah, we are very, very rich. So that's why we're able to afford this huge penthouse, and we're going to be like able to afford the bills and everything. It's a whole thing. But at some point, I also kind of want to get rid of that money because I don't think it's going to be a lot of fun to just be loaded for the rest of the Not So Berry challenge. I think it's fun to at some point also like go back to basics and like struggle for money. So I don't just want to be loaded forever. So at some point I need to figure out a way to get rid of all that money. And I feel like Ruby is the perfect sim to kind of do that with. Like, she would definitely be the type of person that does a very impulsive investment that goes all wrong at some point. I definitely feel like that is a thing we can do. Maybe we could invest it in purchasing a residential rental. Like maybe we could purchase a very old apartment building and then everything goes wrong and she loses all her money or something like that. Like I think I should try to do something with that for the storyline. I think that would only make sense. That is what we did with the Mint generation, by the way, is that I had her, because after she won the lottery, she obviously had a lot of money, so I invested it in buying a residential rental, and she was a property owner for a little bit there, but then I sold it because she got old and we went to college with the next heir, stuff like that. But yeah, still. So we definitely spent a bit of that money already, but still we're very rich. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get rid of that money. So if you have any ideas for storylines, how I can get rid of the money, just let me know, and I'll take the ideas into consideration. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested in this gameplay at all, I have the VODs for my streams over on my second channel, so you can watch that if you want to. And in the meantime, you can see that we are decorating the house, and as you can tell, I'm really trying to use as much red as physically possible. but still combine it with like different colors, different neutrals, and still like make it look good instead of just this whole mess of different tones of red all over the place. I really tried to stick with one specific tone of red for each room. Like take that tone, like take that specific color and then combine it with like black, white, gray. That's basically essentially what I did for this house. I completely talked over the living room already, but we have like a sunken living room type situation that is attached to that sunroom out back, which is really cool. And then right now, as you can tell, we are working on the kitchen. And I was actually so excited about this one because we have those beautiful Home Chef Hustle counters, and they come in this stunning coral red color, which was perfect because we have matching appliances, like a matching stove, a matching fridge. And it was so perfect because I was not looking forward to the kitchen. I thought I was going to have to use like not so pretty looking base game red countertops or like something like that. And then I came across these. I just completely forgot that these existed for a little bit there, and they literally saved the build. I think the kitchen is one of my favorite rooms because I was kind of forced to go way out of my comfort zone with this one. Because of the color, I would never choose to go for red if I had a say in it, ever, because like I said, red is just not my favorite color at all. So it's not something I would ever gravitate towards ever. But because this is not so berry, I was forced out of that little comfort zone of mine, and I used a lot of red. And I had actually never used this swatch of the countertops before, and I just think it looks so good in here, especially with that white. It's not necessarily white, it's more of like an off-white tile on the floor, and then I used a gray stone for the wallpaper, and then combined with that bright coral red, it's just so pretty. And that coral red combines really, really well, as you can see, with the red from the Dream Home Decorator items in here. I used these chairs in here, and I used the Dream Home Decorator sectional sofa in the living room that I combined with a bunch of black, and also a lot of dark brown to kind of mix in with that like red brown brick situation. So that's how I kind of tried to tie in all the colors together, and I feel like it just really flows nicely. I was super excited about this because I don't know, I was really scared about this build when I was just like preparing for it, like trying to think of what I was going to do for the red, like for the rose gen. I was scared because red is just not my thing, but I am so happy with how this came together. And here you can see we are starting on the second floor, and the second floor has this lofted section, which is the landing, obviously. So we have this landing where I put this little office space in the corner here, which I think just turned out really, really cute. And as you can probably already tell, the second floor is really not all that big, so I didn't have that much space to work with. I also, by the way, used a lot of gold details wherever I could because Ruby is just that type of sim. Like she loves her red and her pink and her gold, and combined with like black to make it a little bit more sophisticated. It just makes so much sense. Like I said, she also went to college, and I actually did decorate a townhouse for her, which was also very much red inspired, even though it was just a rental and she wasn't going to stay there very long term, just for college. I obviously still wanted it to tie into the challenge, so I made that one red inspired as well. And that one is very red, but like less sophisticated. This is red and more sophisticated in a way where I just combined it with more like black and white, and for the student townhouse I combined it with a lot of pink and just like other very bright colors, so it looks a lot younger, I guess, in that sense, and this looks a little bit, like I said, a little bit more sophisticated. And this is actually Ruby's bedroom. Ruby has a bedroom that connects to this beautiful rooftop terrace situation where I ended up placing a bar, which is so cute. And here I was struggling with the furniture a little bit. I really wanted to use this matching furniture set, but in the end, as I was playing with this build, I actually found that the Sims couldn't walk around the bed to the side where the mirror is. Basically, they couldn't walk past the dresser, the wardrobe, which was a little bit problematic. So I actually had to swap that one out for a slightly more narrow dresser and that, or wardrobe, and that actually worked. So yeah, but it is on the gallery like this. So the way it's on the gallery, the way it's furnished right now, the bed is only accessible from one side, but that's a very easy fix. I actually decided to swap the wardrobe out for the smaller one that came with, I believe, Get Together. It's a tall one, but a narrow one, and it just looks really good. It actually comes in red, so that was actually perfect. And then here, this is the very odd bedroom, because this one's not red. This all of a sudden is very mint, because as you can tell, this is for Minty. That's the thing that I like to do for this challenge, I have decided, is to always keep one room that is either the next or the previous generation, because when we have a baby, that's obviously going to be the next generation, and I'm not sure what comes after Rose, but I think that I want to decorate that nursery for the baby in the color for their generation. I think that only makes sense. So that's going to be very exciting. And so for now, it's Mint, but like I said, Minty only survived like a day and a half in this house, and then she passed. It was actually so sad. I really liked Minty. She holds a special place in my heart. She was actually the last baby of my 100 baby challenge that I also played over on Twitch. And then we decided to keep that final baby and turn them into the heir for the Not So Berry challenge. And it's so funny because Minty was actually the daughter of the Grim Reaper. I cheated the Grim Reaper. I really wanted the Grim Reaper to be the final baby daddy for the 100 baby challenge. So I cheated that, and I had the Grim Reaper have babies with my sim, and that was Minty. Minty and her twin brother, actually. Minty also has a twin sibling, just like her kids are twins. So that's actually going to be slightly problematic, because in the rules it says that the Rose Gen is only allowed to have one baby, so I'm definitely going to have to check when she's pregnant whether it's twins, because for some reason the game has been loving to give me twins every single time I have a sim pregnant in whatever gameplay I'm doing. I'm only ever getting twins. I don't know what that is all about, but yeah, I keep getting twins. So I'm actually going to have to check that, because Ruby is only allowed to have one baby. So if she ends up being pregnant with twins, I'm going to have to like cheat one away, which is really sad, but that's just what it is. Anyway, I completely talked over the gym. The rug in the gym is so ugly. It is a base game rug. It is bright red, but I felt like I had to use it. I really wanted to use it in gray. I thought that looked so much better, but I felt like I had to, because it came in red. It was the perfect swatch for the red Not So Berry house. So I had to use it, and I did, and I am proud of myself, but oh my goodness, I do not like that red rug. I think it is so bad, but I'll keep it. I'm not going to change it. It's going to be fine. And then here we have that rooftop terrace thingy that is attached to Ruby's bedroom. There is a bar and a little easel over there, which is really nice. And then after that, we're moving on to the outdoor space, actually. So I'm decorating the area by the pool. We have a lot of outdoor space, so I really wanted to create different little nooks for your Sims to just like hang out and just sit and enjoy the outdoors, basically. And I use a lot of platforms too. So I wanted to create this little outdoor kitchen because I was set on using the pizza oven outside. I thought that would be so cute. I can't wait to actually throw some parties and like start making pizza outside. I feel like that is just so cute. So we're definitely going to do that at some point. We also have a bright red grill over there. And then by the pool here, we have this little table. I use this same table and chair set in the sunroom as well, but I felt like the house is big enough that I could use it here outdoors as well without it feeling too repetitive. I think I can get away with it, and I think it still looks good. And then for the rest, I didn't really want to clutter it up too much because this is a house for actual gameplay, so I really tried to keep an eye on the gameplay and the playability of the house and the mess, the clutter, the routing issues, like stuff like that. I really tried to keep an eye on that. And apart from that one bedroom, it actually turned out pretty good. I haven't come across any issues so far, so that is actually pretty nice. And then here on the other side of the house, we have a little bit more outdoor space, and I really wanted to use this industrial lounge set outside. I thought it really worked nicely outside, and it was a nice additional pop of red too. So I did that over there. And then we have this little workout area, like I said, where we have the basketball hoop, and you can probably tell how that would maybe be a little problematic. We have some higher fences over there in the area, but not everywhere, so it's definitely pretty easy for the basketball to like kind of literally fall off the building and probably hit someone in the head, which is not ideal, but this is The Sims and that's not gonna happen because it's not possible, so that's good. And then I placed some additional loungers and some planter boxes, and then that is basically it. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the penthouse in real time. So here we have the penthouse in the game. The camera is a little bit annoying on this lot. It likes to jump up and down a lot, but yeah, this is it. And I feel like I did a pretty good job with the red. You can definitely tell that I used a lot of red details in the furniture, but also there we go, we're jumping down. Oh, it's so annoying. Also in like the flowers, like the ivy on the walls, and I definitely used like, oh, there we go again. I also used some like red flowers, as you can see, a bright red floaty, so I feel like I did a pretty good job with it, honestly. But yeah, this is the front of the lot is what I like to say. I'm not exactly sure, like a penthouse doesn't really have a front, I feel. And then over here we have the other side, which is where we have the sunroom, some additional loungers, a nice seating area. You can play some basketball over here, so that is actually pretty cool. And then through this area, there's a little side door here off of the dining and kitchen space, and there's a litter box because my sim in the Not So Berry challenge definitely has 2 cats, which is not this sim, by the way. This is just Penny Pizzazz. But yeah, here we have that little outdoor kitchen with a pizza oven, I think is what it is. And then there's a grill over here too, but I feel like it would be so nice to just hang out in this pool here. It is so dreamy and luxurious. I have no clue what all these Sims are doing in my house, but they're here. Let's just ignore them. This is where we have the elevator. So this is where Sims come up into the house. I also put the mailbox over here, and then we have this this hallway space essentially, and then a little staircase going into the sunken living room, which I think is such a cool feature. So I use this red sectional couch from Dream Home Decorator, and yeah, basically just a lot of red accents in here. I feel like I should have done a red rug to really make it look like a Not So Berry house, but this rug was just looking so good in here that I really wanted to use it. It was absolutely perfect for the space, the colors, the shape. I had to, so I used this instead. But I still feel like it's definitely very red. We also have that red brown brick for the wallpaper here, which is nice. And then through here is the sunroom, which is cat heaven, I want to say. So I put a cat tree in here. They can just sunbathe over there, like hang out on the cat tree. We have a bunch of plants, a yoga mat, and then just a nice dining table or like hangout table over here. And then back to the hallway, we have a full bathroom off of the hallway over here, which is nothing special, but I did use some red in here, of course. Then through here is a sliding door leading us into the dining room and kitchen. This dining room is very spacious, and I really like the layout. We have this table on a diagonal. I have a little additional 3-seater couch over here if you want to just hang out there, have your breakfast, or read a book or something like that. And then over here is that bright red kitchen. I am in love with this. The red and gold was perfect for the sim I was building for, and just this color red is really pretty. As much as I dislike the color red, this is really nice. But yeah, we have the staircase going up here to the loft. So this is the landing. This, by the way, is where I ended up placing, oh wait, no. I put mom's urn here for a little bit, but then in the end, I placed it on the fireplace in the living room. But yeah, she was here for a little bit. And then over here is the study space where we just have a nice desk with a computer. Off to this side is the main bedroom. It's nothing too fancy or too big, but it is really nice. And what makes it feel more luxurious, I feel, is this bifold door situation leading you onto this rooftop terrace. It is just really nice. Over here is another bathroom, so the second bathroom. This is the gym with that rug I despise. It is so bad, but I had to. So so I did it. And then over here on the other side is the mint bedroom, which I really like, but unfortunately mom only survived for a day or two. So this room is, in my gameplay, ready for a makeover and ready to become a nursery. But I do like all the mint, and it's fun to have this completely red house and then this one odd different color bedroom. But yeah, that is basically it for this build. So this not so berry penthouse is up on the gallery. I put it on the gallery at nighttime because I just thought the sky looked so pretty, but the thumbnail's a little dark, but you can still see it. It comes in at just under 150,000 simoleons, which for my sim is really not that much because we have close to 1 million simoleons at the moment. But yeah, it is pretty expensive, and I built it on a 30 by 20, obviously on the penthouse lot in San Myshuno. So if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that's gonna do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery, like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can also follow me on Instagram, Threads, and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you would like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.